Hey guys, and welcome to another video of me and Jorge talking Ligue. So we're gonna dive right into this, and basically what we'll be doing is we're gonna make our predictions and try to come to agreements on who's gonna get relegated, Conference League, all the places. We're gonna do that. But yeah, how are you doing, Jorge?
Doing good. Hopefully, our predictions from last time, we said briefly what we were thinking. Hopefully, they changed, and see if we, like from the last time we spoke, which basically was early July. So let's see if things changed in terms of our thought process and who's going to get relegated, and see what's going on. I'm pleased to talk about it. It's only a week away.
I know. Next Friday is the Lyon at the Groupama Stadium. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll get right into it. And before we start, I wanted to go bottom to top. So we'll
because I feel like the top is going to be way too. Can we all agree that it's going to probably be PSG as number one?
Yeah, probably. We'll just get that out of the way.
Let's get that out.
I feel like I don't have to explain much. They got in Vitinha. They've got in,
unless somehow Gaultier kind of blows everything up with him and Neymar, but I highly doubt that's going to be the case.
I still think. Look. This isn't decent debate, because what I think has held back teams in Ligue 1 from recent, it's not necessarily the performance of PSG, because I think the past few years they've been a bit up and down. I think there have been better performing sides on the eye. Like, I think Marseille, they played a much more exciting brand of football, and Nice at one point looked like, all right, they've gotten consistent results. And PSG, they got the results, but it's different with PSG because they have the superstar squad, but they didn't perform like it. It was very, very poor to watch most of the times under Pochettino. And I think what's held back teams from winning the league title isn't PSG necessarily, it's their own consistency to get results.
That, and also them selling a lot of their top players just to make an extra buck.
Yeah, exactly. But I do think PSG will win the title, but we got the obvious one out of the way.
Unfortunately, I have to concur with that.
Yes.
So let's get that out of the way. We're good. Now let's
there you go.
Bottom up.
20th to 17th. Who you got finishing bottom?
Ooh, Ajaccio.
You have Ajaccio finishing 20th. Okay.
I think Ajaccio. For me, they came up through Ligue 2, so obviously
it's a transition of leagues. Quality goes up.
To a Ligue 1.
Yeah.
It's been a while for them, but they really, to me, like what they've gotten so far. For those of you that don't know, we are going to talk a little transfers as well. Like they came in with some players that not many people might not know about, but might possibly be a diamond in the rough. Who knows? Because that's usually how the smaller teams are.
Yeah.
But we also their window is definitely focusing on their defensive end, because obviously they know in Ligue 1 they're not going to get solid defensive performances. Let's face it. They're going to get, pardon my language, they're going to get shit on a lot. So they need to focus a little bit on the back end to figure things out. The front end will be a little bit difficult, but you know what? They're the kind of team that has to almost pull a Sean Dyche kind of thing and just win ugly is what I'm saying here.
Right.
So
I think one thing to counter that, I don't think they'll necessarily be bottom. I might agree with you just in terms of the quality. I do think, though, that when they were in Ligue 2 last year, they had by far the best defensive record. They only conceded 19 goals in 38 games. They finished second place because their offense was one of the most poor in Ligue 2. They scored 39, but conceded 19. So their goal differential was 20, while as Toulouse scored 82 and conceded 33. And so that's a 29 goal swing. So Toulouse, but having said that, though, they were only 4 points behind Toulouse. So this team is not exact. It's so hard to gauge. And Toulouse won 23 games, Ajaccio 22.
True.
Toulouse drew 10, Ajaccio 9. That's 5 losses for Toulouse and 7 for Ajaccio. So they aren't going to beat you. They're not going to. I don't know if. I think some games they will get smashed. But I think there will be certain games where they actually do very well against Brest or Angers or whatever, where they get those 1-0 wins. So I guess if you were to make an argument for that, and also they brought in some decent players for transfers. They brought in Amouma on a free, Michael Alphonse, 32-year-old right back from Maccabi Haifa on a free, Clement Vidal from Montpellier on a free too. So that could get them some goals. I think the one concern I have, though, is that Tony Njik and Gideon Kalulu, who were very, very solid for them at right back and defensive mid, also left the club on free transfers. So I think, probably around 17 to 20th for them, just because they are going to need goals and they are going to concede more than that.
From with that stuff, but keep in mind, Ligue 2 to Ligue 1 is like a whole nother ball game.
Just like how championships are
defense,
yes.
But can that defense hold against some of the top teams in the league? And I don't think you can. And if their lack of goaling from Ligue 2 that was like that last year, don't you think they would probably have shored that part up to make sure they get someone to be
Amouma, I think Amouma, the maximum Amouma could give them is probably 8 goals.
8 to 10.
8 to 10, that's probably his absolute peak.
Then where the goals?
But I think he'll guaranteed get him 5 or 6. So that could be valuable for them. But past that, who else is going to chip in? So
I actually the same thing because like I'm seeing it. I'm like, where are the goals going to come from?
Yeah,
you can have so many defensive performances, but where are the goals going to come from to get you those 3 points? You can't rely on just a solid tie every single time, right? Or most games. You have to get, and knowing that it's 4 places this year, not 3, they really have to figure out a way to
start to score.
Start
to score, yeah.
Knowing this odd season of being 4 teams, not 3. So for me, in my opinion, I think Ajaxio's in last place.
Yeah, that probably is. I do think I think they might hang around a little longer than maybe some people do because I think that defense could get them off to a good start. We'll see. I think what you're going to see a lot of for Ajaccio is 0-0 games. I bet that would be something popular, when you play the likes of Lorient and Clermont and stuff like that. So, probably we could always change the position, but I do think they probably will go down.
Who do you have as your 20th team?
I don't really know if I disagree with Ajaccio. My 20th would probably be really thinking Angers. But, we could go on to Angers. I think they will.
I was going to say Angers would be in my bottom 4 as well. So we can agree with you. Yours is my 20th is Ajaccio. Yours is Angers. You probably have it on the flip side as your 20th and 19th. So it's
something like that. But I think there are some problems at Angers.
Yes.
Obviously last year they started off the year relatively comfortably, but they remind me of Southampton where they're always just kind of in the middle and then they really, really dip at the end of the season where they finish like a few points off relegation, but they were never But they were never truly in a relegation battle. They just they clinched safety and then went on the beach. That's the best way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's with a lot of teams though. In every league, once they figured out like, we can only go so high like this,
we're safe.
Players are like, I don't feel like doing anything else. So in Angers' case, they lost a couple good players like
Mohamed Ali Cho.
Those are the 2 big ones.
And Stefan Bahokan left on a free for Kasim Pasa, and he scored 7 or 8 last year. I know all about Bahokan. He's a
if I'm not mistaken, Ismail Traore, the center back that now went on free, also
he left on a free too.
So this brings back to the simple question that we asked for Ajaccio. Where are they going to get the attacking prowess from? 1. Two, who's going to score the goals?
Obviously, they still got Sofiane Boufal, who's a midfield winger kind of guy. They brought in Zitunji, who's more of a left back, but can also play on the left. He's a left back, can also play left mid. They got a guy from Brighton, actually. They got a guy from Brighton on loan. Abdullah Sima. They still got Sada Thioub, who's really quick. But they also lost another excellent player on Angers last year for them, was Jimmy Cabot. He was a very good player for them, and he's going to Lens, which is no surprise to me because he's very, very quick. Extremely, the stats for him and the eye test, more importantly, he's a dogged guy. He's got that dog in him.
Yeah.
So that's why he's going to Lens, because when you play for Lens, you got to have that dog in you.
You have to have that grit.
He's a very hard worker, tracks back, gets some assists too, good delivery. That's going to really hurt Angers, I think.
Definitely. And also, as Americans, we kind of try to watch as much MLS as possible. There is someone that was from Minnesota United, Adrian Hunu.
Who's okay.
Let's see if he can do good. He's a I think he's Polish and French.
Polish-French, yes.
Yeah.
That was a good signing from them. So
we'll see how it goes. But it's a simple question
that
we keep saying to ourselves: where are the goals going to come from? And the way Angers played last season, how they tanked pretty much the second half of the season.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the former Lyon assistant coach gets fired this season, or if he does stay on to stay on for Ligue 2, but I highly doubt that. Where are they going to come from in terms of like the attacking prowess? That's the only thing.
Mohamed Ali Cho was their attack.
He
was the creator and the finisher a few of the times too. So I think that's very hard to replace. But I'm sure they brought in some guys from their academy. Every French team has a baller academy pretty much. So maybe that'll save them.
For the most part,
for now, I'm gonna put them in the relegation. Now, who's your next pick for relegation? Because this is where it gets tricky.
This is where it's going to get tricky.
Obviously, Toulouse is a contender, possibly. Lorient, Angers. Troyes are kind of distancing themselves, but they can still be in the conversation. I don't think Strasbourg will. Montpellier, Brest.
The teams that I'm looking at, though,
Rams.
I don't see Toulouse as one of them. For
Clermont
me,
Foot.
the last two are between Auxerre, Lorient, Troyes, Brest, and Clermont Foot. So out of those teams, which two do I think is going to go down? I would say Clermont Foot.
Because they lost Bayo.
That. Number two, it's the second-year syndromes. And usually second years is when you survive the first one. It's very hard to survive the second one. That's the toughest part of the season. And for me, last year they was just very similar to what Angers was in regards to how their season went. Like the last couple of games they were sliding, and I think they were like the fourth to last bottom between Metz and all them. So it doesn't really give me much faith that they will be able to stay up for another season. But I will admit, the Bayo is pretty much Bayo, excuse me, pardon me, I apologize, Mohammed. Basically was their main threat.
Yeah.
Their main center forward threat. So where's this gonna come from now? You know what I mean?
Well, they did bring in Komen Ondrić from Dinamo Zagreb. That'll be good. I think Saifeddin Kawai. I think he's a good player too. That he did well for them last year, relatively. They still got the good core there in that midfield of Gastien, who was very good for them, and they're also adding Gonalon. So that's a pretty good signing. We were talking before about how you wouldn't have minded Gonalon going to Lyon on a free. So if he would have been a good option for Lyon, maybe for Clermont it could be a superstar thing.
Hey, if it's free, it's for me, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he has Ligue 1 experience.
Rashani is still there. Rashani from Kosovo, he was a good player. Ariel Mendy, Dosu is okay too.
I think they might players are now experienced the league, so they understand the demands of it.
Yeah.
But to stay with them for another season is going to be tough. Yeah. Maxime Gonalons is a great pickup. Obviously, he was a club captain at Lyon. Unfortunately, he left because he kind of criticized the president, saying he was not ambitious, but he was saying he was spitting facts. And it turned out he was the sacrificial lamb and moved to, I believe, it was Roma.
Yeah.
Roma, before getting loaned out to Granada or some Spanish team, got permanently there. I remember. But yeah, no, I think they're one of the bottom of the four that I think will go down for those reasons. I mean, I love him, but I think this season I don't think Clermont's going to be able to withstand the onslaught of what the French league is going to have, because it's going to be brutal this year. There's going to be 4 spots, so people are going to have to be up.
4 spots is significant.
It's significant. So, and with Bayo not there, it's again, it's another question for the other two. Where are the goals going to come from? And can that center forward that they just picked up,
Andrich from Dinamo Zagreb,
can he really start getting acclimated to the league very quickly and getting them the goals that they need to stay up itself?
What I think Clermont Foot did very well last year was they pulled out a lot of unexpected wins.
Yes,
and I think, are they going to be able to replicate that? I think that they'll win away? They won away to Marseille, drew both games with Lyon. I think they might have drawn one of their games with Monaco. Against Strasbourg, I think they lost both. But they had a few results that were very good, and they played some good football, so to be fair to them. So
I mean,
I think it's just going to be hard to replicate with the 4 spots of relegation.
They can definitely pick up points against Ajaccio and Angers, Lorient, Troyes, maybe Troyes. Did I say Troyes already? Sorry, Brest, maybe Auxerre. I know Nantes might be struggling because I think this year they're going to struggle with Europe and all that, but that we'll talk about that later. I think they might have a shot, but it's going to be very close, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to pick up getting points against Monaco, Rennes, Marseille, Lyon.
Yeah. They drew both games with you last year, like Clermont. Was it 3-3 and 2-2 or something like that?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, they did. They did really well. That 3-3 game was amazing. That was an amazing game from them. Really, really good. Maybe they can replicate that kind of thing. But I think, it might be. It just might be. Now, it's really tough picking the last one. Toulouse, Auxerre, Lorient.
Are we in agreement that Clermont is going down, or did you think they were going to stay out of that?
I think losing Bayo, it's going to be hard to replicate those, crazy. I think they actually might go down too, to be fair.
Okay. Because now this is the tricky part. For me personally, it's between Troyes, Lorient, Auxerre.
Toulouse are safe, in your opinion?
I think Toulouse are barely. I think they're safe because they actually have a decent backbone that they have. Yeah. They have a really good backbone. I think that they would be 16th in my opinion. That's what I think of Toulouse. I think they're going to be the last one safe.
Okay. And then I personally think I'm going to go with who lacks a goal scorer. Angers have Charbonnier. Lorient have damn it, what's his name? They have someone at Lorient that did very well for them last year that scored goals. What's his name? Mofi. Tarek Mofi. Mm-hmm. Did I get the name right? Tarek Mofi. He scored a few good. He scored a few pretty good goals for them, and they also had some very good performances. Yeah, they've got a good team. Bonke Innocent is a Nigerian international. Ibrahim Okone, Enzo Lefi. Good midfielder. Tere Mofi. Yes, he's Nigerian. Julian
Mofi, yeah, that's the one that did some big shockers against some of the big clubs at Lorient. I remember those.
Umut Bozak. They also just brought in the Turkish player.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Dreyer. Igor Silva. So I actually think maybe they'll be safe. What do you think of Rams? Potentially, because they lost Ekitike on loan.
That is that I didn't even think of that. You know, this is why it's so difficult sometimes, because it's like you can legit think of 6 or 7 teams in those 4 positions.
Yeah.
I mean, it all depends on who they got in return. Let me see what they did. Bear with me here, because I know
I'm trying to think. Damn. This is
they got like
Stade de Reims. They bought
he bought a right winger, a couple center backs,
one from the USL actually. From the American guy. What's his name?
There's from like recently, or is this in the past?
Yeah, recently. They just loaned him out, I believe. They bought him this year. I forget his name, but they bought a guy from Orange County SC, a center back. I think it was Henry something, but it's not on here. It might have been to Stade de Reims B, technically.
Yeah,
what I do like from Stade de Reims is they just bought Yunya Ito from KRC Genk for 11 million, the right winger. He's a decent player. Grevillon was very good for them. They picked him up on a permanent from Inter. Maxime Boussi also was made permanent. Patrick Pence, a goalkeeper from Austria, Vienna. Indri Philip Kofi. Or no, sorry, that's the end of the loan. They sold Reykjavik. Dumbia, Fode Ducore.
For a second, I thought you said they sold the capital of Iceland. I'm like, what? I'm sorry.
No, they sold Predrag Reykjavik. They're a very good goalkeeper.
Exactly. So for me, my question for them specifically is, can that new goalkeeper that they have adapt to the physicality?
Yeah. Can he be as good?
Yes. 25. The other one was what? 26? So it's basically the same.
I think they'll finish in the 11th to 15. I think I'm going to go there.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Alger go down. I'm not sure about.
For me,
I think it might be Troyes. I was about to say. I think it might be Troyes.
I don't know. Auxerre for me, I think is like just like Toulouse, probably going to be borderline.
Yeah.
11th to 16th. Same thing for Lorient. I think it's going to be a matter of like 1 or 2 points between all these teams, or even goal difference. That's how close I think Auxerre, Lorient, Troyes, Clermont, Toulouse, and Reims are going to be. Because that's how I think.
I think some of these losses also are going to hurt Troyes, like Biancone, who left Nottingham Forest, 22-year-old right back. He was really good. They lost one of their center backs too, Girardon, to Saint-Etienne on a free end, a 24-year-old attacking midfielder, Chambost. Chadley too, Nassim Chadley went on loan, 21-year-old right winger. And then so what my problem with them is that they're losing Youssef Kone. He's going back to your guys.
I think they're rumored to be getting him
on a permanent.
Either that or another loan or whatever. That would
help. That would help them. Definitely.
We don't really need him because we already have. Well, we'll talk about it when we do.
Yeah.
Tagliafico from Ajax.
He'll be your starting left back.
He will not even be in the top 2 for substitute appearance. So instead of having him rot on the bench, go on loan, buddy. You've been useless to us every season. You were great during that 1 year at Lille. And then he was. And then all of a sudden you were utter crap.
Dropped off completely.
So he dropped off huge. So what a twat. It's fine.
So we've got Stade de Reims. I think Lorient will finish about in that 15-16. Auxerre, probably about this.
Yeah.
Probably
and then I think Stade Brestois. 11, 12, 13, 14.
Brest, who do you think will finish 10th out of all of these? I think Brest could.
Well, I think Brest is going to be in the 11 to 16. It's 5 positions. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Because I like what Brest have done. They got that really, really talented kid, Karamoko Dembele, from Celtic on a free transfer.
Okay.
They've been solid the past few seasons. They've established themselves as a consistent Ligue 1 team. So I think, and they finished above Montpellier. No, they didn't finish above.
Hold on. Yeah.
They did. They finished above Montpellier and Stade de Reims.
Yeah. So we still have one more left for that 11th to 16th. And for me, it's between your team of Strasbourg and Montpellier. Actually, no. I lies. Nantes. Give me Nantes in there because I think they're going to struggle in Europe, and that's going to distract them. No, 11th. 11th through 16th is Nantes.
Wait, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right. Do you think they're going to be...
I think the thing with Europe...
They'll finish 11th?
Yeah. Nantes? And then somewhere in 11th to 16th. They're definitely not going to be mid-table. I think the distraction with Europe is going to stretch them thin because they're in the Europa League group stages, so they're not in qualifying, so they don't have to worry about that. And the Europa League schemes are going to be like head and honcho because I take a look at it and I'm like, September there's like 2 games back to back.
Yeah.
October there's going to be another 1, 2, 3 games, and then November is I think another one, I believe.
And I don't know if their squad is. Their squad for Nantes. For Nantes, they've added. Who have they added? They got Sissoko from Watford, who could be a decent midfield
for experience.
They brought the big thing that would worry me about Nantes is that they lost Randall Kolomoani. He left for Frankfurt on a free. He was very good for them last year. Very, very good.
That's my worry.
They did bring in 2 good forwards, Evan Glisson from Nice on a loan, and then Mustafa Mohamed they paid on a loan too, only $275,000. And then they brought in 4 academy. No, 1, 2,
5,
3, 4, 5 academy youngsters.
I think that's probably what they're going to have to do is go from within because if they don't have, they should have the money because they just got Europa League group stage, so they should get some money from that.
Yeah,
they should get some money from that, and probably the TV rights too. But here's the thing with them: it's Moussa Sissoko, great pickup for experience, and also he knows Europe. He's played in European games, so he knows the experience of that. Do they have enough experience?
It'll rely on a lot on Glisson if he turns out to be the real deal. Because that could be he could be a really good player.
Yes, but also
what I think will save Nantes also is they've got one of the best goalkeepers in the league in Lafont.
And that's the question. There's still a transfer window until the end of.
I think you glitched out a little bit there. I'll just add him back in. There you are. You glitched out for a minute. What were you saying? Froze again. What the hell? Anyway. How do you freeze again? What the hell? You back? Back?
Hello, can you hear
been me? No, you're back now. You're back. It was just glitching out for some reason. No, what were you saying about Lafont? If they can keep him until the transfer window closes?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We're just saying the goalkeeper, because every time we say the name, it glitches.
Right. The French goalkeeper.
The French goalkeeper from Nantes.
Yes. He's very good. He's one of the best in Ligue 1.
He can. There's still what I'm trying to say is there's still a month left to go.
Yeah.
If he somehow gets picked up, then Nantes are in real trouble. I would put them not towards mid-table. I would put them towards the relegation area if he leaves. If there's an offer for him, he's been very good. He helped them in the French Cup.
Yeah. I don't know why it's glitching so bad.
It's probably my Wi-Fi.
That's all right. That's all right.
We'll edit that part out anyways. So,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
No worries.
Well, I was gonna say if they don't have their goalkeeper, they're gonna go a little lower. But right now, I would say mid-table is more than enough.
They've still got they've still got some of their established core, like what's his name? Ludovic Blas. He's a very good attacking midfielder. They still got Girotto and Paloy, who are very, very solid, dependable center backs. Moses Simon, he's always got some magic in him. And that kid, Quentin Merlin. He looks
right. Is he a left back or a right back?
Right back. Back. He's very attacking, very skillful on the ball. He's a really good player.
They're very good. So, now, my only concern with Nantes is can they keep the goalkeeper and can they be able to deal with a schedule that's Thursday, Sunday?
Yeah.
Can they deal with multiple games with midweek and weekend instead of what it was before, just on the weekends for the most part?
And
with them, and I don't think they can deal with it early on because obviously by the time the World Cup starts, European competitions in the group stage are done. Yeah. So by that point, they'll be out of Europe possibly, or maybe if they're in third place in the Europa League, they play in the Conference League come February. So it all depends. But that's my two concerns with them.
It all depends too if Mustafa Mohamed and Evan Gasson can replace.
Can they replace
Kolomuani's goals? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
fair enough.
So
10th, I'm gonna go Montpellier.
Okay,
that's pretty simple.
I don't think they've really done much in the window to like really scream like I'm gonna try to go for Europe. They're more like let's just stick with what we know and just stick in the middle.
Yeah. They brought in. Let's see who they brought in.
Not much, really, to be honest with you. They got Falaye Sako on loan.
Who was on loan at Saint-Etienne last year. He's suspect. He's suspect.
And then they got a couple
Nordin and Kazri from Saint-Etienne on free transfers. Those are good.
That can definitely be something.
Faitu Mawasa from Club Brugge. So that was because I remember a few years ago, Mawasa was very good for Stade Rennais. Very good player. So I think that could be, and obviously Ristic left, so you slot in Mawasa right away. That's pretty good. And then they got the problem is that they've lost Ristic, Florent Mollet, who was a very good player for them. He left for Schalke on only $500,000 fee. Junior Sambia left for Salernitana on a free. Remy Cabella left for Lille, surprisingly. Ambrose Ayongo got released.
So my thing here is, will they have the energy or will they have the motivation to try to one-up themselves instead of getting mid-table? Can they go for Europe?
Yeah.
And when I'm talking about Europe, I'm talking about Europa League or Europa
7th
League.
or fifth place. Fifth
place.
Yeah.
You know,
or if they win the Coup de France, they get in that. But I think they'll probably be about 10th.
Yeah, cup competitions are a little bit different depending on them. But for me, Montpellier is definitely in that 6 to 10 range.
Yeah. I feel like we haven't gone for a real shock pick yet.
I am ready to say a shock here. For me, I would say Marseille.
Marseille in what? 5th?
6th.
All
Well, the 5th is a European spot. 6th. And I think the main reason why I'm saying that is because they haven't really gotten many players in. Sampaoli left the club itself and
hired a lack of ambition through the window.
Lack of ambition, and the coach now for Marseille,
Igor Tudor.
Yeah.
Who used to be at Hellas Verona.
Really doesn't scream to me that he can definitely. Sampaoli was very rigorous and very attacking. I don't see him doing too hot. I think it's going to be a turmoil year because Frank McCourt is not giving any extra money. He's going to try to find them ways to sell more players,
right?
Able to do it. I think they're going to flop in the Champions League. So for me, my shocker would definitely be Marseille.
Marseille at 6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What I do like in their business is they've got this kid Isaac Toure from Le Havre, 19-year-old center back. He's 6'7". He's the tallest player in all of the European top 5 leagues. 6'7", 19 years old. They bought him from Le Havre for $6 million. I think that could be a decent. He could be a very good player. Jonathan Klaus, I think that's a really good signing too.
Yeah,
could play right mid, right right
definitely
wing back.
do that, but keep in mind they also are in not financial trouble. They're in like a
Uncomfortable. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
To basically all the stuff that they purchased, Paul Lopez, Guendouzi,
Cengiz Ünder was on a permanent.
Milik, for example, those 4 were those that were a loan deal for an obligation to buy.
Yeah, and Guendouzi. Yeah.
So for me, my thing is, who can they sell off to be able to offload that a little bit and still be relevant?
They also lost Boubacar to back up your 6th place prediction. Losing Boubacar Kamara, that's a big loss. That is a massive loss because he is a very, very good player.
Yeah.
He had an outstanding year last year. Was absolutely crucial for them.
And your guy, Lucas Perrin, is now in Strasbourg. So there definitely is this is my shock team because obviously with Marseille, it's either.
I'm going to put Strasbourg 7th, by the way. Bad. Speaking of Strasbourg, I'm going to go 7th.
Yeah.
So me, I think we will
be 6th. I can see Strasbourg for 7th, and I think that'll be a good season for you guys because that's definitely in the upper half of the league on table.
Yeah.
You guys haven't really lost Le Jorque yet at the moment.
Haven't, and that's the big key to all of this. That is the key to all of this. So what Strasbourg, what we have done is let's go to the outgoings. We bought Lucas Perrin for only 1.6 million when his market value is 5. We got Thomas Delaney from Metz on a free transfer to replace Chachi. I think that's a very good signing.
I think also Colin Dagba
on loan from PSG.
Right back from PSG. I mean, might as well take a chance on him.
That's a good signing on loan. And then Ronald Pierre Gabriel, who I watched at Mainz last year. That's another good signing at right back depth too.
Yeah.
And then Jean-Luc Alou got on a permanent from Monaco. So,
and you guys haven't really lost a lot of players. You know what I mean?
Only Mohamed Sib. Our biggest loss is Chachi. You know how much I love Chachi. I think the world of that kid.
But for me, it's my biggest question for you is: can you keep Le Jorque?
Yes,
that's the question. And if you don't keep him, who do you replace him with, or what players do you replace him with? And if that changes your mind, if it's 7th place for Strasbourg.
Luckily, the thing about Le Jorque, there are 2 sides of this. Number one, we played with 2 up top. So Ludovic Le Jorque wasn't the only guy scoring goals. Remember, all 3 of our registered strikers scored at least 10 goals in all competitions. Gamero scored 10 at least. Habib Diallo scored at least 10. And then Ludovic Le Jorque, I think, scored 13 or 14. So, but the problem is that I can't remember too many games last year where Ludovic Le Jorque wasn't with one of those 2 guys. Can Diallo and Gamero play by themselves in that 2 up top without Le Jorque? Because what Le Jorque does is he is the target man, but he also does a lot more. He's very mobile. He's good with his feet. He makes very good runs. He had 13 goals and 8 assists last year, I believe. 8 assists as a target man. That's very, very good. So that'll be my question if we lose Le Jorque. It's not a doomsday scenario that we lose Le Jorque. I think we'll still stay up and all that. It will be interesting, though, to see if we bring in a guy or if we trust that Gamero and Diallo can keep the goals coming in. Because we've got a good squad. We've got a very solid, hardworking midfield, some quality with Thomasson. Sissoko is very, very good for us, too. And our back 3 of Perrin, and Jiku, who's also been linked with moves away. Jiku is a very good center back. and we've got depth. Le Marchand at center back too. So I think about 7th. We'll have a little bit of a drop off this year, but I still think we'll be very competitive with pretty much everyone we play. And remember, we were competitive. We were competitive in nearly every game last year, besides the last one, and then away to PSG. I can't remember, and even in the game where you beat us at your place, you guys won, I think, by 2 or 3 goals. Yeah, 3-1.
3-1.
But it wasn't a 3-1 game necessarily, the way it was played. If someone didn't tell you the score, you wouldn't think, oh, Lyon is absolutely smacking up Strasbourg. I thought we were competitive, and the goal at the end made it. So that's one thing I know that's pretty much guaranteed. We'll be competitive in nearly every game. And that always gives you a chance to win.
The next two teams for me are going to be a little difficult because for me personally, it's between Nice, Lens, and Lille. And I say Nice because they lost Galtier.
Yeah.
They lost Galtier.
They brought in Lucien Favre.
Now they got Favre, but they might get Kasper Schmeichel. Kasper Schmeichel, a great goalkeeper from Leicester, could potentially be going to Nice. So this is where I'm like,
but they just bought Bulka on a permanent from PSG too.
Yeah, so this part is a little tricky because for me, I think Lens will definitely be in the 6 to 10 because I think losing Klaus,
Chukore, yeah,
and
behind or in front of Strasbourg. I think they have. They've consistently. Why I say Lens will finish over us. They have a very, very good home record. We do too.
Very good with their.
But what they've done is that they've had the first, because remember they got promoted and finished 6th, and they didn't have second season syndrome, and they finished 6th.
Yeah.
So they've proved that they can do this 2 years in a row.
Definitely.
Likely to have 3.
And plus, they lost Cali Muendo. They might potentially lose. I can't think of the midfielder's name.
Fofana?
Yes.
Sekou Fofana. Yes.
He could be. And they also lost Klaus. But they got
the way that team plays.
Yeah.
The way that team plays is the thing. Frankreich is
keep in mind, they also got a great goalkeeper, Bryce Samba. They got someone that I've seen every week here in New England, Adam Busca. Very good forward.
He is.
Plays with him, he's definitely a man-to-man striker. That definitely has very tall, so they can utilize his head on set pieces if needed.
Yeah.
So it's depending on him if he can definitely acclimate himself to the league.
And also Jimmy Cabot. Jimmy Cabot is that Klaus replacement.
Mm-hmm.
So that solves that problem right away.
Yeah, and the center forward, I think if Adam Busca can definitely get himself acclimated, he will definitely.
I think he could, because he reminds me a little bit of a Jorge, because he's actually pretty good with his feet, even though he's kind of a big guy. I think he'll offer something different to Cali Muendo, but I think it'll work because their manager is very, very good.
They lost Cali Muendo. That's the big thing because he was on loan. They also lost Corentin Jean and Simon Banza. So to get them, and I think he also got Luis Openda from Club Brugge. So if those two, and they can get the Polish winger Frankowski, I believe it is Frankowski or something.
Frankowski, yeah.
With the Polish connection, I think they can definitely do well. But right now, there's a little bit too much of transition. So for me, I think they're in the 6 to 10 range.
I had Strasbourg in 7th. Do you think? Do you agree?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Lens 6th, Strasbourg 7th. Well, I put Marseille 7th. I would put Strasbourg 8th and put Anyways, Marseille is going to be in that 6 to 10. I think that's a shocker one in that group. That's where I'm going to put them and put the Lens in there too. Now, for me,
we need one more in here. One more in the 6 to 10.
For me, it's between Lille and Nice.
Finishing behind Marseille.
I think they're going to finish behind Marseille.
Who? Nice?
Lille.
Because
let's face it, they're going to lose a good. They lost Sven
Botman. Yeah.
They lost Seki Celik. They're
going to what? Atletico Madrid.
They lost Burak Yilmaz. They lost
Zeka.
They are probably going to lose Renato Sanch
to PSG. Yeah.
To PSG or Milan.
Broderick left for Salernitana, so that's chopping at that left back depth. Yeah.
So for me, their replacements, I don't mind Bayo. I don't mind Cabela.
No, Bayo is going to bang for them, I think.
Yes, but can they really get the goal scorers?
Cabello is a weird signing.
That Yilmaz did before.
Cabello is a very weird signing.
And I think there's been rumors of Jonathan Bamba leaving too. So there's a lot of people leaving than there is entering. So that doesn't give me much of a hope that they'll get anything in Europe. Hence why I put them in the 6 to 10 range. That it's their finances that are holding them back because they're in such huge debts. Of course, Gerard Lopez.
He put them in a real fucking mess.
And also, kind of coincidental, he put Bordeaux in such a sticky situation.
It's almost like whatever the guy touches, it turns to shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, I think it's safe to say I put Lille in that place for 6 to 10.
Okay.
In terms of placement of those 5 teams, we'll figure that out when the time comes.
Well, let's move on to 5th place. I'm going to go, and this is where you get the the Conference League. You get the Conference League spot as the in the playoff round. It's not group stage. You get in the playoff round, so you got.
Well, I don't think anyone goes group stage yet. I think it goes playoff because I don't think anyone's in the group stage for Europe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for 5th place. This is so tough. It really could be a crapshoot.
Definitely between us, Nice, all 4 teams actually can. This is where it's tough because
this is extremely tough. Yeah, let's talk first about Lyon.
Okay,
we'll go Lyon first.
Okay,
because I think they will improve, but I think they'll get about. I think they'll get 3rd.
I think so too. That's my goal.
I'm gonna go 3rd for Lyon.
I'm gonna say 3rd for the reason that can Boss actually get his philosophy down?
Yeah.
Can he keep a clean sheet? Can he get his 4-3-3 philosophy down? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And can he get the players that he wants gone? Because right now it's too big of a squad. There's no European game, so there's not going to be much playing time for a lot of people.
Right.
We got Dubois out. We need to get Boateng out. We need to get Moussa Dembele out. We need to get Housamauer out. And I'm trying to think who else. Okay, Kone's going to be out.
I was thinking Kone. Yeah.
Kone. And Polar's back because
Dubois left already, right?
We have 4 goalkeepers in our squad. 4. Why do we need 4? We don't need 4.
You don't need 4.
We don't need those. So for me, Polar's back needs to go too in that case.
Yeah.
There's still a month left, and obviously there's going to be a lot of PE teams coming in. I think they're in 3rd. They definitely got a lot of stuff that they picked up that they needed to get. They got. We need a good striker. Moussa Dembele, don't get me wrong, is a decent striker, but he's not well rounded the way Lacazette is.
He doesn't fit the way Block wants to play either.
Forward. Moussa Dembele is more like a target person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, I would prefer Lacazette up front because he can definitely help the team out in more shape capacity than that of Dembele because Dembele is a one-trick pony, basically staying up front like a Lukaku situation.
Right.
We needed a winger. We got Tete back on loan from Shakhtar, and we're going to make a purchase at the end of the summer.
He's a cracking little player.
Yeah,
I like him a lot.
On another year loan thanks FIFA, because of the Ukrainian war situation.
Yeah.
We needed a left back. We got Tagliafico from Ajax.
Good sign.
We were supposed to get Malacia for 15 million euros. Instead, we paid 4.25 or 4 million euros for Tagliafico. Saved ourselves a couple, tens of millions of euros in that.
Yeah.
What else? We got Tolisso back. We got him in the midfield. And I believe Tolisso. Oh, and also, how can I forget this? Le Pendant from Caen, from that
very, very good signing.
Very good player. So that's what we have so far.
You've held on to Kakare too, which is huge.
Yeah, they're very great. So for me, third place is definitely with no Europe. Keep in mind, no Europe.
That's why I also exactly.
Excuse. They need to get top 3 because we need the Champions League money. Our stadium's built for a Champions League group night game against top teams in Europe, in my opinion. So for me, Lyon would definitely be third. But it all depends. Can Boss get this group together to be motivated, to be able to play as a team and not be individualistic, and be able to help shore up their defenses more to make sure they get the clean sheet? So for me, they're in third. That would be a realistic goal.
Second place, I'm going to go with Stachane.
I disagree.
Oh, okay.
I disagree in the point that Rennes haven't really had a great transfer window.
But they haven't lost anyone. And the other thing is too, also, Doku was out the entire year, pretty much the entire year last year, and Suleimana also had injury problems. Those guys fully fit back. That's when you could give Tellier a rest, and you can give Bourigeaud, you can play him as a midfielder or as the right wing.
True.
I think Bourigeaud will bang again.
True, but I think there's also been rumors of Terrier leaving.
Right, but even in that case, you've got Doku and
True, but they lost their star center back Naif Aguirre to West Ham.
Yeah, but they brought in
many center backs. Arthur Pietri from Bologna.
He's a
very good player.
Yes,
but they don't have the center back depth that they need to be able to compete on all fronts. So for me, it all depends on can they do the same thing that they did last year. And I'm not a fan of Bruno Genesio. You know my disdain for that.
I mean, I was a fan of what I saw last year. They played. They were excellent.
They were good, but if they were so excellent, why didn't they get a Champions League spot?
Because they had 2 better teams than them.
No,
or 3.
Because they also capitulated at times too.
Right? No, that's true.
Play against smaller opposition and be able to get the results sometimes, and that's what fucked them over. Pardon my language. So for me, I don't think of them as a third place. I think of them in the Europa League because I think they're going to be – I think for me personally, I'd rather see them in the Europa League. That's just how I think. I would substitute Rennes out and put Monaco. I would substitute Rennes and put Monaco in there. And obviously they lost Chouameni, and I know that's a big, big, big loss. But they've gotten some good players to come with it, you know. They have Minamino. They're going to buy some more players too, but obviously Chouameni is pretty much the one that's like the big kahuna in this case.
The standout.
Yeah. But who sold them for $88 million when his value is 66, so they got a good deal on that.
Yeah.
I think personally for me, I think about it, it's between Rennes and Monaco for the
second place.
Second place or like Champions League, Europa League kind of thing, like that kind of thing. I know Nice for a fact will probably be 4th or 5th. That's my gut feeling on that one. I'm not sure if you agree with that.
Same here. No, because It really is. I think it's between
It's a toss-up
Monaco.
between Rennes and Monaco. It really is a toss between Rennes and Monaco.
I think also something about the flip-flop nature of Ligue 1. Remember, Bordeaux and Saint-Etienne are out of this division, so things change very, very quickly.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's not that crazy, in my opinion, to see Marseille go from 2nd to 6th because Ligue 1 from first place onto the bottom, besides first place.
Yeah.
PSG
well, you never know. You never know because
exactly. I mean, Monaco have won it. Lille
have won it. Montpellier have won it. But here's the thing about Monaco. Are they going to be in the group stages? Because we keep in mind they didn't get the automatic group bid because
they got 3rd place
because the two teams that were in the Europa League final didn't qualify for the Champions. Well, Rangers did, but they would have been in the group stage anyway.
Yeah,
they didn't get a qualification directly into the group stages, so they had to play a playoff.
Yeah,
or a 3rd round playoff or a 3rd round qualification.
They have to play PSV.
They have to play PSV first, and then whoever's the next opponent afterwards. So we don't even know if they're going to be in the Champions League or not. If they are in the Champions League, then I can see them being in the Europa League or Europa Conference League. If it's the other way around and they somehow get out in the playoffs like they did last year and they play in the Europa League, I can see them doing a decent job because they actually did pretty well last year in the Europa League, going, I believe, to the round of 16 or quarterfinals. I believe it is one of the two. Yeah. So they can definitely do that.
Well, do you think they'll beat PSV over 2 legs in a week?
I think so.
So we'll say they advance against
that's a 50-50, to be honest.
It really is. No, it's super, super competitive.
I like to go for my French teams, minus Marseille.
And Saint-Etienne, but we don't have to worry about them this year.
Because of the manager, but I don't mind that.
No, I like Rennes, bro. Rennes, come on.
But
Rennes
I would like to see Monaco progress through to get higher coefficients for France. But my toss-up for European spots is between Rennes and Monaco. They're very close.
Because I'm only asking you about
Lyon too, because I think all 3 of those teams have are very close that you can't really predict if there is. Because some people place Lyon preseason here 4th place. I put it for 3rd, so it's in between those 2 places anyway. So all 3 teams have the shot. It's gonna the big games so far this season are going to be definitely relegation in Europe. Because obviously, if PSG are running away with it, then that's the next things you have to focus in on, and it's gonna be close because that's how it always is in the French league. You know what I mean? So yeah, it all depends. But there's still a month to go. Obviously, transfers can come in and out. So this is what we have right now. We should probably screenshot this and see what it is mid-season and see if we're right.
Oh yeah,
that's definitely a great idea.
No, for sure. Well, I only ask you about the PSV and Monaco result because you said if they make the UCL group stages, you could see them finishing 4th.
Yeah, because
compared to 2nd, because then they'll have more games.
Yeah, because keep in mind, if they do make the Champions League, and depending on who's in the group, if they get 3rd place, they still have to qualify continuing on to the Europa League. And since they are a Champions League quality team, and I say that in quotes, they can easily go further in the competition for Europa League, easily causing them to get distracted from the league play itself. That's where the 4th place comes through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where
the winner of Monaco versus PSV would play. They would play. Oh, so it's either going to be a seeded team so it's either going to be, by the looks of things, it's either going to be Rangers, Union Saint-Gilloise, Benfica, or Midtjylland. That would be who Monaco play. So that's pretty doable for them. Monaco, Benfica, another very, very even contest. Rangers, I think Monaco would be between.
Let's face it, it's going to be between Rangers and Benfica of who Monaco play.
Probably.
If I was in Monaco's shoes, and if Rangers beat Union Saint-Gilloise and Benfica beat Midtjylland, I would rather have Monaco play Rangers than that of Benfica.
Yeah, but the problem is with Rangers, though, is that they've been descending. Benfica, remember, they did do very well last year, but some of their recent European campaigns have not been very good. With Rangers, they just made a Europa League final, and when Gerrard originally took over for them, they were losing to a fucking Luxembourgish team in the Europa League qualifying round. So they've took lots and lots of step up, and every single year it's gotten better for Rangers.
Well, either way,
it's tricky.
Well, it all depends. So if it is Rangers and Benfica is what we're thinking of, I would choose Rangers over Benfica. Benfica, they got Darwin Núñez out. Yes, that's a huge loss.
That's why I would. That's why I would
be able to then do is get some good quality players to not only replace him, but then to be able to use that an extreme amount of money because they got a lot of freaking money to replenish their squad, to be able to fill in the gaps they need to at a very cheaper price. You know what I mean? So for me, Benfica, those Portuguese teams are pretty damn good sometimes. And when it comes to Euros, over a Scottish team, let's face it.
Yeah.
For me, if I was Monaco, I would rather play a Scottish team than that of a Portuguese team. Right. Because you don't know what kind of Portuguese team you're going to get.
Yeah.
So for me, that's the case. But we'll see how that goes when it comes to the fully on at the end.
Are you good with fourth Monaco for now?
For now, yes. We'll see.
And then remember, this is airtight, bro. Just like last year, where Strasbourg were finishing fourth at one point, and then one goal in another game, they're down to sixth.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be that.
It's gonna be that close.
So, Let's
leave Monaco like that then.
I'll
feel a little bit more comfortable if this was done Champions League, but either way, it's really a toss up between Rennes, Lyon, and Monaco. I think Nice can solidly say like they're going to be in fourth or fifth because honestly, they lost to Galtier. They have some good coming in, but can Lucien Favre get them to a top 3 or top 4? Yes, they have done that before once with him, I believe. But can he do it again with the same team? Because usually when a manager comes back to their old squad, they don't really do so hot unless you're Zizou, but that's a whole nother issue. So
it's true. Oh. Now, before we end, I've got 2 questions for you. Who's going to win the Golden Boot for the Ligue and then for Lyon?
That's an easy one for Golden Boot. I think it's going to be Mbappe. And for Lyon, Golden Boot.
Score the most goals across all conferences.
I think it's going to be Lacazette. I really want
over Dembele. Okay.
And I think Paqueta will probably be staying. Well, no. I think Paqueta will be sold. I think because the rumors is Tottenham or Manchester City. If Bernardo Silva goes to Barcelona with somehow some fake monopoly money that they get him.
The GTA money glitch.
Yes. And they do keep in mind if Bernardo Silva does leave, they did say
Manchester City.
Thank you. Is seriously looking at Paqueta. And if I was Jean-Michel Aulas, I would not sell him anything less than 60 million. Anything above 60, like 60,
how much do Milan get out of that future resale value? 10%? Don't they get a certain percentage of the transfer?
It's like 10 or something. I'm not sure, but I think it's profit.
So
it's not as much as it is. So for us, I mean, if it's 10%, it's like if it's 70, 80 million, it's another 8 million to them. Woo! We still get a huge bucket of cash coming in from that. So if Bernardo Silva leaves, Man City will go for him. I say we upsell to Man City the most that we can get for him. Tottenham, I don't think they would spend that much money on him. So therefore, I rather prefer him going to City because his growth has been great. I think under Pep Guardiola, it will be even more perfection. He's already in the Brazilian national team. He goes to City and gets the playing time that he gets and learns under him. Sky's the limit with him. So
who do you think? Now let's do some other.
I think we have an abundant amount of midfielders, so one has to go. At least Auer is going to be one of them. The other one's going to be Paqueta. I'm assuming it's probably going to be the case. So depending on the situation, if they're really desperate and they throw us a lot of cash, obviously we're going to take it. But I would rather keep Paqueta for another season and see how it goes and wait till after the World Cup. Because after the World Cup, if he flares up and does very good, people are going to want him in this winter, and we can upsell him then. Be like, good. You got us. You saved us. You did good for us. You got us in what we needed to get, which is a good profit. Thank you very much. Enjoy yourself with your next club. We're going to love you still. So,
who do you think is going to be the most improved player in Ligue 1 from last year? Most improved across the league.
Messi?
I
think so, because obviously last year he was just kind of getting himself acclimated and he didn't really do so well. I'm hoping, because obviously I bet you PSG fans would like to see that happen, because they did spend a lot of money on wages for him to have him play the way he played in Barcelona. So I would like to see Messi do better. I don't really give a shit about Neymar. He's just a waste of space and just cares about himself and his big fat money. That's about it. And he's also going on trial for his fraud thing for the transfer. That's a whole another day. But for me, the one player definitely will have to be Messi and PSG.
Biggest flop of the season. Who do you see flopping completely? Where people
expect of Marseille? No, I'm kidding. All of Marseille would be my answer. No, I'm kidding.
I think Guendouzi's going to do fine, though, so I don't know if he'll flop. I think for flop.
Now,
I think Ekitike to PSG might be
it might not, because it's a little bit of a bigger club, so there's going to be a lot more pressure for him.
Yeah.
Definitely Ekitike. I would say, Milik. No, not Milik. He kind of is a hit or miss anyways. Yeah, I would say Ekitike, I think, would be one of those. And you know what? I would say either Martin Terrier. You know,
you don't think.
Terrier, because he doesn't normally have that kind of season that he had last season. He usually has a 6 to 10 goal scorer thing. So for me, I think he's going to come down crashing to earth, and I think he's going to be back to what he was before, a 6 to 10 guy. So for me, Martin Terrier from Rennes.
Player of the year, Mbappe or Messi?
Mbappe. The French connection. You can't really
straightforward
about that. So, manager of the year, I don't think it'll be Galtier. I think it'll have to be someone else, but we'll see that.
What if Genesio wins it? I'm going to laugh my ass off at you.
He won it last year. He didn't deserve it. But that's just my opinion. I personally think last year the Nantes Comboire did. Because the budget that he had, the players.
But Ligue 1 manager for what they did in Ligue 1.
I see that. But also, again, Nantes had very little budget. They were supposed to be the ones relegated and got them 9th or in above half the table, beating most of the teams. And obviously, you have to take into account cup competitions because it's French football. So French competition, French cup. He won a cup. Genesio just won is the most goals scored, and that is it. So for me, it would have been Comboire, in my opinion, because he won something and did something with a smaller team with all-star players that Rennes and PSG and all them had, and took them to a cup final and won it. So for me, Comboire would have been my manager of the year from last season, not Genesio. Because if Genesio got Champions League and did the most goals scored, he rightfully deserved it. But he didn't. Right. He got Europa League. He messed it up really bad, and now they're paying. And
that could have been a case for Julien Stéphan, to be fair, or Francaise.
Yeah, true. But for me, last year, definitely was that. So, but yeah.
Well, that'll wrap it up.
We talked about transfers and the league thing at the same time. That was great. I like the fact that we did that.
That was good. So, no, I knew we would figure it out.
We were going to do it that way, and that's probably the easiest way to do it. So
definitely. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hit the like button and subscribe, and tell us your comments below who you think is going to, finish as champion or second, third, relegation, player of the year,
or even critique us on how bad our league system is. Who knows? God only knows.
Yeah, exactly. But for the final, so just one more time to go over. Me and Jorge have decided these are our rankings. Ajaccio bottom, Angers 19th, Troyes 18th, Clermont Foot 17th, Toulouse 16th, Stade des Reims 15th, FC Lorient 14th, 13th, Angers will do well for a recently promoted side. Brest at 12, 11th, Nantes, 10th place, Montpellier, 9th, Strasbourg, Lens, 8th, Lille, 7th, Marseille, 6th, 5th place, Nice, Monaco, 4th, 3rd place, Lyon, 2nd place, Stade Rennais, and champions elect from us and pretty much everyone on this fucking earth, PSG. So, yeah, that was that. Thanks, guys, for watching, and have a good one.
Thanks, Steve, for having me.